Howdy and welcome back. I'm Oliver the Shoe Man, and today we are going to be customizing a pair of Iron Rangers Red Wings. These are the 83 Hawthorns, brand new, never wore them. And I'm going to be doing our Vibram, I call it the Commander Recraft, that's what I nicknamed it, but it's basically a half lug sole, half commando lug sole. And if you haven't watched my other video where I did that to my Thursday boots, that's going to be new for you. But if you have watched it, we're going to do that exact same thing, except with a honey lug sole. And we're going to be doing a dark brown edge finish because we're going to be doing leather midsole with a leather heel base. So everything that's leather is going to be this nice chocolate brown, and then it'll be the honey lug half sole with the matching heel. So it'll all kind of tie in together. It'll look really nice. It'll go this nice tan, dark brown, and then the honey lugs to match. So we're gonna start just by taking apart these brand new shoes, which is not my favorite thing to do. But the customer the reason he wanted to do this was because these 430 soles weren't cutting it for him, and he needed a little bit extra grip, and there's no more grip that you can get. The 430s or the 100 soles are like the grippiest soles that you can get. So that's what we're going to be doing for him. I'm just cutting this top stitch. This is a higher view. Cutting the top stitch so we could peel back the sole. Customer has another pair of Iron Rangers that we're going to do the same thing to. But we're going to do the black soles on that pair for him because it's it's an Iron Ranger. He likes Iron Rangers, but Iron Rangers are good. It's a good boot. But that one he's worn that a few times, and so he dropped off that pair and this pair. Let's get them both done at the same time. Looking for my knife, which I just had. Y'all ever do that? Like, you have something in your hands and like you set it down real quick to do something and you could look for it again and it's nowhere to be found. Yeah. Alright. Bang. Just like that, the sole is off. And basically, the next step is to put our midsole on. We don't have to replace the cork or anything like that because it's a brand new shoe. There's no point in replacing the corks. But we're going to take all the top thread out of the stitch, or the top stitching out of the welt, because we got to stitch a new piece on there. And all comes out just like that. Alright, now completely taken apart and ready to go. This is going to be our leather midsole. It's a thick leather midsole. It's a 10-11 ounce. I'd say it's about 1/4 of an inch thick. And I gotta move you guys here real quick because I had you propped up on my glue pot, and I need my glue pot right now. I am all over the place today, but I'm good to go. I'll try my best not to get any glues on the uppers because that would be a pain in the butt to clean off. You don't want to do that. Oh, some of the thread left over. So this is This type, I did this on the same resole we're gonna do to this one, I did to my boots, my Thursday boots, about a month ago. And these are some of the, I mean, they were comfortable before. They're my Thursday logger boots. They were comfortable before, but man, these are way more comfortable. Because one, they're broken in, but two, oh, I can't even lift my leg up that high. Wow. Okay, hold on. Let's get some glue on the midsole so it can dry while I'm showing you guys my shoes. Just real quick. This is a contact cement. And so you gotta put a coat on. You let it dry. Once it dries, you just stick the two layers together and then hammer and press it on. And it's good to go after that. Alright, let's see if I can stick my foot up here for you guys to see. Oh, I'm not flexible at all. Wow, I gotta stretch. Alright. I'm doing this for you guys. Alright, so it's basically a half commando sole. Commando sole is just a lug sole with that recessed edges. I'm about to fall. But we did that with the heavier lug soles. And so that's what we're going to be doing to these Iron Rangers, but with a honey lug sole. So it'll actually it's going to look really nice. I'm excited to see how these turned out. We are ready to go to put our leather midsole on there. I'm gonna move this away from the table because I don't want to hammer and hit the table. So once we have our leather midsole on, trimmed, ready to go, this is how the Vibram 100 honey lugs come. You know, they look pretty good on a pair of these boots, but customer wants to turn them into a commando sole. Now, why in the world do we do that? And there's a couple reasons. Let me see real quick something. Let's see where mine looks. Okay. I just needed to see how far away from this line I cut. But anyway, back to it. One, from the side profile of your boot, you don't see all of the lugs, right? It's not super chunky. Second reason is when we take this off and we will cut like a 1/2 inch of the lugs all the way around the sole. That's a lot of weight that you're losing, and so your boots actually become a lot more like lighter. So it's a lightweight lug sole that doesn't look so luggy. Now you see I kind of mimicked that shape. If you don't watch what's their Wyatt and Dad Collar Company on YouTube, definitely go watch them, because this is kind of where I got this idea from. They do something really similar to this with theirs, but they don't recess the edges. They leave it the lug from the outside. So I'm gonna clean this up with a sander. We will thin the bottom side of this out so it's not so, there's not a big old lip right there that could get caught on things. And then we'll be ready to mark out our sole, and then we'll cut our little groove in the leather, glue it on, then trim the edges. All right, so we got our heel. We're gonna mark out the heel base where that's gonna sit. Now we take our, I just had it like 2 seconds ago. Where did it go? It's right behind me. This is our piece. I'm gonna I'm gonna line up the front, try to see if I can line up the sides. Alright, because I kind of want the length of the lugs to be even throughout the entire boot. Okay, and that looks good there. Alright, you see the line? Now is the fun part of trying to notch that out. And the trick is, if I can get you guys a good angle, it seems like there's a lot of light. Let me see if I can tone that down a little bit. I know you guys can't even see the line right now, but it's because I also did a light one, but I can see it. So now it's just gotta be slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race, right? Right. So yeah, it just takes really sharp. I use a razor blade. And basically we're just cutting a little channel or a groove, and that the sole, edge of the sole will be able to sit in flush. So now we're going to come in at an angle. Again, this is kind of the difficult part. Just to make it even. Now if it was a straight line, it would be so easy. But a straight line wouldn't look good. It may look fine, but not as cool as this shape. Alright. One more time, I think. Let's see. Ooh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Let's see. Please fit. Oh, yeah. Would you look at that? I could get it. I think that'll work for what we want. Yes, sir. Maybe a couple more adjustments. I think it'll work just fine. All right, now rough this front up, and then we glue this onto that. Now is the kind of the moment of truth. Will I be able to get this now lined up right where it needs to be? And will it look good? That's another question. Let me see if I can do that, right? And then it's kind of just a game of hope there's, make sure there's no gaps. It looks like there's a little bit of gap right there, but we can iron it out. All right. All right, it is coming along. Can you guys see it? Again, this leather edge finish is going to be a brown that matches the sole. So it'll be that tan, brown, tan. So we're gonna put this in our press to let it sit for a little bit, and then we will move forward. This is kind of how they sit right now. Grab that little loose string there real quick. I must have forgotten it, a little straggler. All right, now we're going to take our pen and mark a line, like I said, about a 1/2 inch away from the edge along the lugs. And that is going to be our guide mark for where we will cut the lugs. Perfect. I'm going to take a razor blade, and let me see if I want to be able to have an angle where I'm comfortable, and also you guys can actually see. Turn that fan off, it's kind of loud. Alrighty, and you got to be kind of careful not to cut through the whole entire sole, just the bottom of the lug. And then come along here, come at an angle, and there's a lug. See? And so we're gonna do this all the way around the shoe. I'm gonna take all the lugs off, at least the sides of the lugs. And then we'll sand it to clean it up, make it look a lot smoother. Then after that, we could stitch the sole on. And we're going to be doing a white thread on top of the welt like it came originally, and a brown thread on the bottom. Just because, well, the white thread on top, because that's what the customer wanted to keep, and then the brown thread on the bottom is kind of what I thought would look, you know, the best, since it's going to be a brown edge finish. I know it looks rough now, but once we take it to the sander, it'll look a lot better. And again, this is one of the reasons we do this. It's because it's a lot more lighter than doing the full lug sole. The half lug sole is a lot lighter than the full lug sole. And then just the commando sole, which is just the lug sole with the recessed edges, you know, makes it a lot lighter because you got all those pieces that are coming off. You're losing all that weight. I'll come around here to the end. Got this last stretch. I already finished the other one off camera, and it actually looks, I'm really happy with how it turns out. It looks really good. Really, really good. I can't wait to show you guys the final product. Stay tuned, because it's coming up. Because we're about, I want to say, halfway done here. Gotta stitch it, put the heels on. Now the edge finish, doing the edge finish is kind of a little time consuming because we have to mask off the sole and the uppers so that we don't get any of the edge dye on the honey, lugs, or the uppers. So here's what it looks like, kind of rough cut. We will sand this and clean it up and get ready to stitch it. This is what it looks like, trimmed up, cleaned up. Takes away a lot of that weight and the kind of the chunky look from the side view. So we got a white thread on the bottom, our brown thread on top. And since we're going to be stitching upside down, the brown thread will end up right there and the white thread will end up right there. Looking for my water bottle, which is right hither. And we're going to wet the sole so that it'll allow the machine to stitch a lot smoother. So, wish us luck. All right, let's see how we did. The bottom looks good, and the top looks good too. Perfect. Now time to do the heels. Okay, here they are with the final sanding, final trimming. Now it's time to do the edge finish, and I got some blue masking tape that I gotta mask off the honeycomb color soles, heels and soles, and to mask the uppers so we don't get any brown dye or anything on the soles or the uppers. So that's gonna take me a little bit. I'm gonna cut to when I'm putting the edge finish on. Okay, got it all taped off for the most part, kind of where we want it. That one kind of, it's really tricky because you want it right on that edge, you know, where the sole meets the leather. All right, this is what I'm going to use. It's Brillo color spray in dark brown. It's like a spray paint but for leather, and this is how I do not all of my edges, some of them. When it's stuff like this, then yeah, this is how I do it. And what I'll do is put just the light coat, because you don't want to spray it on super heavy. You just want a nice, because if not, it'll puddle up and it won't look good. Okay. Oh, you see that? That's not good. Gotta fix that one section, because they'll end up with a piece like that, and we don't want that. Come on. Alright. Then we'll take some, this is Saphir Shoe Cream, number 32. And then we're gonna just dab some on there and apply it to the leather. This will kind of seal up the pores of the leather edges and allow, when we go to put our second coat of dye on there, allow it to actually look, I guess, proper. I don't know. You see how it's faded. So when you put this on, it'll seal up everything, and then when you do the second coat of dye, it won't look faded because there's no open pores for the spray dye to sit in. I'm gonna go buff this real quick and I'll come back. Okay, that looks kind of good. Not 100%, which is why we're gonna go ahead and do a second coat here, which will just seal the deal, make it all look consistent, clean. And of course my compressor goes off. Okay. Well, if you can hear me, I'm gonna let this dry a little bit more. Then we'll take the tape off. And then she'll be done. We're gonna put a one final coat of waterproofing spray on the uppers. The moment you all have been waiting for. This is also, you know, if you mess up the tape, this is where you'll find out. If you mistaped anything, then you'll see here. So we'll start off with this. You see some of it leaks through there, but that's fine. We could we'll clean that off. Alrighty, then we got heel. Oh, beautiful. Nice, crisp lines. That brown thread matches really nicely. Alright, that's where is it? Right here. So we have paper towel and just some acetone. Just gonna run it right along that edge. Clean it up. Just run more sections. Here at the toe a little bit. We want that nice crisp line for the contrast. A little bit more of this stuff. Alrighty. Then we'll kind of clean off the bottom. And I'm gonna blow all this off and buff it. You see all that? It's just from the sanding. So we'll clean it up and then we are all good to go. Alrighty, we are done with these beautiful boots. Well, they were beautiful to begin with, and now they just got a whole nother look to them. We did a little bit of a logger scoop on there. Just overall, I love the way that these look, and they don't seem too much heavier than what they were before. I didn't get it. I probably should have weighed them before to see the weight of them before to now, but yeah, super cool. I love these boots. So awesome. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, all my information will be down below, how to get in contact with me. If you'd like to get this done, or if you have another pair of shoes you want to get done, feel free to reach me down below. God bless you guys.